Hi there, Clara Chinevere, the stepmom coach, coming to you with another stepmom wisdom tip. So if this is the first time you're seeing me live, thank you for joining me. And so just so you know a little bit about myself, I'm a stepmom coach and I work with stepmoms, helping them create stronger and healthier relationship. And today I wanted to come and talk a little bit about your teenager, your teenage stepdaughter, or your teenage stepson, because I hear a lot of people who are talking about issues they're facing with their teenagers. And I came upon this great article from Greater Good, the Science of Meaningful Life. And in that article, there was an article about understanding your teenager. And when I read it, I thought I needed to share it with you. And so part of what, the article talked about, and I'll be sharing a blog later on this afternoon with the link so you can go to it. It talked about, understanding what your teenager needed. And I think that's what happens a lot is our teenagers are having a hard time understanding what it is they want from us and understanding what they want themselves. And one of the things they shared was that teenagers are looking to be admired and being respected, among other things. They're also looking to be have a sense of belonging, having a sense of being valued and being accepted. Now, when I read this and I thought, you know what, stepmoms and stepdads are going through some similar things. That's what they're looking for, right? You're looking to be accepted, to be valued, and to be appreciated. Well, that's what your teenager is going through at the same time. And so there's a way for you as a step-parent to relate to your teenager because you're feeling some of the same things that your teenager is feeling. So, a lot of times we think that because they're teenagers, they're only looking for the approval or peer support. But research shared here that the impact and influence that a parent has on them is also very important. Now, think of it this way. If they're a teenager and they're in a divorced family, they live with a parent and one of the parents, and the parents are arguing and having a very chaotic, stressful relationship even after the divorce, it puts this teenager at risk of anxiety, depression, self-esteem issues because they feel they have no one to go to because if the parents are arguing, they feel they can't go to that parent to ask for help or support. It also makes them feel like they can't reach anybody. So as a step-parent, as a stepmom, there are things that you can do. First of all is understand that they're going through very similar things you are, especially if you feel like an outsider. So see them as if they were in your shoes, feeling like an outsider. Another thing that the article mentions, this is no surprise, is to communicate with your teenager. And I've shared this in the past, and I've shared this in different areas, that communicating with your teenager is really critical in that it keeps the communication open, but it also keeps the connection, the door open to connecting. The best way to connect with a teenager is to look at what it is they're going through and also to think of it in a way of, what can you do to connect with them? So one of the things is be interested in what they're doing. Be curious. Ask them questions about what they're doing. And, some of the comments I've had before were, well, I don't want to seem like I'm nosy or intruding. There's a fine line between being nosy or intrusive. But if you approach it from genuine curiosity of wanting to get to know them more, they'll feel like you're interested. The other thing that's important is don't fake it. You know, kids have this phony meter that is very in tune. So if you're faking it, they'll feel it and they won't trust you. And you've broken a invisible trust barrier where the kids are not gonna want to get close to you. So be very genuine in your conversations with them. Another thing is, like, teenagers, and I know myself when I was a teenager, hate to be told what to do. We're trying as teenagers and young growing adults to figure out what it is we want out of our lives. And therefore, trying to navigate through life and having someone tell us what we should be or should not be doing is not helpful. And that is part of why sometimes we see our teenagers being rebellious. So what can you do? Well, ask questions about what it is that they're thinking about when they want to do a certain thing. Whether it's driving, going to parties, have them think through the process. And this is key because we want to teach our children, our teenagers, to become responsible adults, to be contributing citizens to our society. And the best way for them to learn this is by us sharing and being involved in our lives. And so start by asking them, like, what do you think about such and such situation? And you can take things that are happening in this world at this moment. Politics is one. There's a lot of conversation. So have a conversation about real life things that are happening. Ask them about bullying. Ask them about teenage violence, dating. Have conversations with them so that you get to know a little bit more about their insights, but also they get to think out loud about certain things that are going on and, you know, test the waters with you. Now, if you don't do it with them, they're going to do it with someone else. And I would rather see a teenager do it with a parent and a step-parent. Now, as a step-parent, what can you do with your stepkids? Well, one is be a positive role model. Think of your position, especially with teenagers, as an opportunity to share some of your values, some of your strengths, maybe even some of your weaknesses with your teenager, so that your teenager sees you as a human being, as someone that they can approach, talk with. And this is especially important if the teenagers are in a relationship, in a family that are very chaotic. They need someone they can feel grounded with. So see yourself in a role, in a position of a grounded support for your teenager to come and talk with you about different issues, whether it's sex, whether it's alcohol, drugs. You know, these are important issues, and they may not feel comfortable talking with a parent, fearing being judged or told what to do or criticized. Again, as I said in the beginning, teenagers are looking to be respected, have a sense of belonging, have a sense of being admired for what they do, and also being valued for themselves as individuals. So I hope you enjoyed this short little video about understanding your teenager. Look for my blog. I'm going to post a little bit more on the blog this afternoon or maybe tomorrow. And I'll share the link about the full article, where that is really worth reading and sharing as well. So if you enjoyed this video, feel free to share with your friends. Comment below. I love hearing your comments. And I look forward to hearing from you. Have a great day.